All right, hey everybody, Soundly here, and I just have some new observations from Mobile, Alabama today. Also had some on the way home at Lake Pontchartrain, which some of you might have seen the stream this morning, or not this morning, this evening. This stream here, and if you did, then you know that the 3G type 4G connection that I was on was pretty bad, unfortunately. That is one of the areas that I'd like to live stream from, and so I was hoping to have, better connection there, but it wasn't too good, unfortunately. So, let me get back to this here. What I'd like to do is just kind of bring your attention to this and just, I guess, do some housekeeping on it. It's not very good. As far as the quality from there, unfortunately. I mean, you can see it's like very, very grainy. I mean, YouTube just totally butchered his signal here. But one of the things you could see in that video stream was that you can, in fact, see New Orleans being obstructed by the horizon just with a cell phone camera. Cropping down on the cell phone camera, you could see that. And with your eyes there in person, you can quite easily see the causeway curving over the horizon, New Orleans being obstructed by the horizon, and 3 Lakeway Center being obstructed by the horizon. Today there was a nice little mirage going underneath it, Superior Mirage. But, it's something to point out. It's a good point to bring up with people. Hey, you can actually go out here yourself, have a nice dinner, see it for yourself. From the North Shore. Really that simple. So, before I get too far down the road, let's look at the chat. There's already people discussing stuff in the chat, and they brought something up. Funny to see globe heads use flat and planar horizons as proof of curvature. We've said this a number of times, and I'll say it again. Flat horizon is literally a globe prediction and is not a flat Earth prediction. Flat Earth, the flat Earth model says that the ground should just go on forever into the distance, and what you should see is basically like what you see on foggy days when you just see everything kind of fade off into a white fog. That's what you should see on a flat Earth on clear days. We don't see that. The fact that there is a horizon at all it completely proves that Earth can't be flat. So let's move on. I want to show you guys these observations. And I want to actually go back to the end of my day. So at the end of my day, I was actually at Lakeshore Drive, which is on the North Shore. We stopped at a restaurant. That's where I did the live stream from. And of course, I had my P1000 with me, so I figured I'd show you that video footage first, since you guys have just seen the live stream, which was terrible, from the same location. So let's just look at this real quick. So I'm at this restaurant, right? And they have this very nice. Let me get to that part first. Let me see. Let me grab a different video real quick. You're just gonna have to bear with me too, because I'm just looking through these observations with you, the same as the same time that I'm streaming here. So I'm gonna have to find some of these observations. Let's see if I actually showed the, is it the same video? I thought I was on a different video a second ago. Where is this video? I need to show you the place that I'm at. That's what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can find it here. No, so that's after we left. This is at the place. Let me see. Is this it? No, this is down by the car. Give me just 1 second and I'll find this thing, because I took a video from this location where you could actually see. Okay, here we go. This is a spot. Okay. So let's look at this video here. Okay, so right away, if you look right here, right where my mouse is, you can see New Orleans in the distance is being obstructed. This is Three Lakeway Center. This is at the widest angle with the P9 with the P1000. So this is, you know, even a wider angle than your eyes. With your eyes, you can see this very clearly. This is the Bascule Bridge, and here's the marine hump right here. This is the furthest marine hump from the South Shore, the closest to the North Shore. So this is about 4 miles out. This is about 8 miles out, and this is already starting to be obstructed. We lose the causeway somewhere up in here, and this is the Marriott. And the causeway, of course, goes all the way to the Marriott. And anyway, let me show you where I'm at. I'm on this balcony. Let me speed up to the. Okay, I wanted to show you this. I'm on this like terraced area. This is actually raised up. This whole restaurant is raised up off the ground, and I mean a good 20 feet really. And you can see from here, I can see a lot of buildings in New Orleans, and of course Three Lakeway. I'll walk down the stairs, and let's look again. And now you can already see that there's only one building visible in New Orleans. There you go. And that's just 20 feet right there. So this is something that anybody, literally anybody, can go see with their own eyes just by going to this restaurant. That's Three Lakeway now. Of course, there's a big Superior Mirage underneath it. And there's the Bascule, well, again, with the Superior Mirage underneath it. So really no excuse. You know, people should be able to go here and see this for themselves anytime they want. All right, so let's move on. Now, I've been personally trying to get to Mobile, Alabama. And Mobile, Alabama, I'm just noticing my chat is stuck. Hold on one second. Let me fix that. Okay, back down to the bottom. Anybody talking to me? Let's see. They have a bunch of good seafood there. I am Rick. Let's see, anybody else talking to me? Hey Fabio, how's it going? Okay, good. So, hey, good evening, Jesse. All right, so I got my chat working again here. Okay, good. Let me get back to this. Okay, this is one of the pictures of Mobile. So this is actually the thumbnail of the video. And I took a raw image with the P900. I was experimenting with the raw images with the P900 because I just wanted to see, you know, what I could do with them. And you know, it's actually pretty good. I was able to like pull out a little more contrast, clear things up. So it's going to be interesting working with these raw images from the P1000. I keep saying P900. I don't know why I'm saying that, but the P1000. So let's look at these observations that I made in Mobile. Oops. All right, let's go back up to the top here. Okay, let's see. There we go. There's my first observations of Mobile. And these buildings are, you know, this building right here is 600 feet tall. I forgot the name of it now. I need to look it up on maps again. But this building is 600 feet tall. It's clearly being obstructed by the horizon. There's a number of things that are being obstructed by the horizon here. So this is a very simple observation. It can be made every day across Mobile Bay. So let me show you what Mobile Bay looks like real quick. Let's go back over here to Google Maps. So here's Mobile right here. Let's do a satellite image. And let's go full screen with this. And so let's see. See if I can find that building for you here. Yeah, here it is right here. So what's the name of this building here? I have no idea. I didn't see. I figured there would be a name on the building, but there you go. So here is, you know, essentially what the city looks like. These are the buildings. You can see these cranes right here. See these cranes right here? And if you look at my observation, you can see those cranes as well right here. I'm not quite sure what this is. Oops. I'm not sure what this is. These red things right here. I'm not quite sure. What is that? Is that part of this? It looks like another crane, but I'm not quite sure where that's coming in at. It'll take some research to figure these things out. But look at all this land, you know. Look at all this land in front of these buildings. Pretty much from every angle, you have this land in front of these buildings. And the other thing that you have is this USS Alabama right here up in the foreground. And I was actually trying to find the USS Alabama and was having a very hard time finding it. I think it was actually underneath the horizon in my videos. So yeah, all this land is missing. I mean, look at that. So the USS Alabama should be over here somewhere, I guess. It's probably out of frame. That might be why. I actually took a bunch of footage anyway, from different angles. And there's actually a bridge with like some H looking. I'll have to show it to you, I guess. That's not it. Anyway, pretty cool observations. It's something I've been trying to do for a long time. Pretty much every single time I went out there, I either had to deal with atmospheric haze because it was too hot and humid, or bad weather conditions. It was raining. I even thought this time I would just totally miss it because it was pouring down rain. It was almost like a tropical storm. Might have been a tropical storm. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. But it was a lot of bad weather this weekend whenever I went. Me and my wife took a little beach trip, which turned out to be great. I mean, we did mostly indoor things because it was raining so much. But yeah, you know, it was a fun trip. And at the end of it, I was lucky enough to actually be able to get this shot here. And I'll show you some of them now. I was actually down here in this area, and where was I exactly? I was back here on this corner, somewhere up in here. Yeah, about right there. So I actually have some GPS coordinates that are recorded whenever I started filming. So let's find that real quick. Let's find a good one. There we go. So there was my Latin long. I'm not sure what's going on with this altitude. That's weird. It's like way off, -26 meters. No idea what's going on there, which is actually interesting because I had a observation in Las Vegas that I thought was slightly too low, but now looking at this altitude indicator, I have no idea. It might have been where I needed it to be. But anyway, my dogs. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. So if we look here, I think I do a little wide angle shot. Oh, well, I killed that one early. Let's see. Hold on one second. Here we go. Here's a wide angle shot. I don't know why the videos open up on the other screen. It's really frustrating. Let's see here. So I'm going to zoom in here in a second. Not on this one. Okay. Like I said, I'm just looking through these videos for the first time, just like you guys. So we are all in the same boat here, me trying to figure out which videos are the scrap ones and which ones are the good ones. All right, there we go. A little blurry. Okay. Let's see. It was super, super windy. This is actually on a tripod, and the wind is just bouncing it around on the tripod. Unfortunately, it was really, really strong wind. And there is some superior mirage here, I do believe. But it's pretty good. I mean, you can see that this it looks like there might be a little bit of mirage here. Maybe about right here, but it's hard to tell if that's actual mirage or what. But I think the wider angle shots were actually better shots. You know, there's that white building. This is the white building that's next to the USS Alabama. So I'm not seeing the USS Alabama anywhere. And I think these cranes might be right by it, actually. So USS Alabama appears to be completely underneath the horizon. There's a whole battleship underneath the horizon. Alright, let's look at something else here. Oh, this looks like a pretty good one. Let's see. Let's look at this one. Ah man, that wind is just kicking it around. It's actually in very good focus right there. But that is that 600-foot tall building right there being obstructed by the horizon. You can't see all the way down to the ground. And remember, there is land. There's a whole patch of land in front of this building. This building's not right on the coast. You know, it's not right on the shore. It's a fair bit in, and there's also a big chunk of land right in front of it. Just to give you a reminder of what I'm talking about here. Let's look at this again. I mean, this whole patch of land right here is in front of the city. Or no, it's this patch of land here. It's all in front of the city. So, yeah, all this is hidden. I think you're actually seeing the top of this building maybe right here. And that's what that white streak was, just to the right of this building. Let's actually map this out. Or let's look at this angle real quick. Let's see, where is that? Here's the building right here. So let's measure from here. If we measure from here to where I was, which is, where is that again? Much less familiar with this area, obviously. All right, it was right here. It was about right here somewhere, pretty close. I think I was actually in this patch of grass right here. So 15.61 miles. And let's see where that line of sight goes. What piece of land it crosses. There you go. It's crossing this piece of land here. So this right here, this little building right here appears to be what's just to the right. Man, the USS Alabama is way over here. So it would have been way out of my field of view. So I'm not quite sure if I even went that far over. Yeah, I guess I did, because I actually saw land eventually, so I must have actually panned past here at some point. I'll have to do a little bit more analysis to figure out if I even got the Alabama in there. I definitely couldn't see it, and I was definitely looking for it because I knew it was there. That's a pretty obvious landmark. So anyway, that's the angle I was taking there. Again, this is another body of water that anybody could go to. Anybody can make this observation, see the curvature for themselves. And there are tankers that actually go through this body of water out to the ocean. That's another potential observation. Problem is, I'm never here. You know, I'm hardly ever here. I'm around this area for vacations, essentially. And so, yeah, of course, every time I've been on vacation, I've tried to take this picture, and I've just had a lot of bad luck so far. But today, I was lucky, and I was able to actually get good, clear seeing conditions and be able to see across the bay. No fog, no rain. That's good. Finally got it. All right, so let's see if anybody's chatting with me. Anybody saying anything? Let's see. Blink that soundly. Yeah, that would be a good one for a blink test. should have 100K subscribers. Hey, MF, I agree with you. Make that happen. Nicholas Pitts. Sally shows curvature all the time. That's correct. I have literally hundreds of videos now, and videos and photographs combined. Thousands. Bass is going to give me 2 pieces of advice. 1, more bacon. And 2, let a girl with nice tatas present the data. Might work. Never know. Hey, hon? I'm just kidding. Okay. Star Busting Otter. Wait. Is it? Yeah. Star Busting Otter. I'm glad you like my videos, man. Okay. So, moving on. Let's look at some more stuff. Obviously, yeah. So, you taking the raw images, we can throw them through something like Lightroom, clear it up, and get rid of some of the even the very little bit of haze that there was. Bring in some contrast. This is, I mean, just painstakingly obvious curvature. Pretty hard horizons. There probably is a little bit of superior mirage. It's kind of inconsistent. It's not always the same amount. Feels like it's about right here somewhere. So, yeah, there's a lot to be answered by flat earthers, and they're not coming up with the answers, unfortunately. Unfortunately for them, but we all know they're not going to. All right, so let's look at some more of these observations here. So there are these big cranes that sit right out in front of the city from this angle. And that's what we're seeing there. It's actually a pretty good frame there just a second ago. There's still a lot of atmospheric stuff going on. I mean, there's a lot of turbulence. It's not as clear as I would like it to be. Certainly not as clear as some of my New Orleans observations. But, I mean, it's good enough for you to see what's going on here. So this kind of brings me to one of the points that, you know, a lot of people in my comment section like to bring up, which is not really a point, it's kind of a non-point, which is that I can only do this at Lake Pontchartrain. That's complete nonsense. I don't only do this at Lake Pontchartrain. You can do it anywhere. As a matter of fact, anywhere with a beach or large bodies of water like this would be perfect. I mean, here's another example here. I mean, you have Pensacola right here, okay? And you have all these, I mean, first of all, you have the city buildings and an airport, and you have all these ginormous, like, condos. I mean, these towering condos all around Pensacola. I mean, anyway, I think anybody who's been to the beach will understand what I'm talking about. I mean, there's just condos upon condos upon condos next to the hotels, massive buildings, right? And you have this large stretch of water right here. You know, I mean, you can easily come here, right here. Why is it zooming up? Measure distance, Pensacola. There's 13 miles right there. I mean, you could easily see Pensacola obstructed. I know that for a fact because every time I scout these, you know, observations, that's what I do. You know, I scout these observations and I come look and I go, okay, right here, 13 miles, should be able to see obstruction. Okay, yeah, go do it. You know, or Pensacola Beach. You know, you could probably just sit right here on the beach. Where is it? Measure distance. And just look that way, right there. And you'd probably see all of these buildings, if there is any. There aren't any here. Or are there? Can't tell. If there are buildings, if there are condos here, you'd be able to see them curving over the horizon. You can do it at pretty much any beach that has like a long string of condos. Any, you know, any like touristy type beach, just go out to the edge of the beach and look down it with a P1000. You'll be able to see it. Be able to see the curvature right there. So pretty much anywhere in the world, there's opportunity. You know, even in landlocked areas, there's going to be opportunity for you to find a large body of water. Okay, so let me go back to the observations from Mobile. More Mobile, Alabama. I really like the wider angle, to be honest, because you can see more of the obstruction for, you know, from the different things like the cranes and these other buildings that are next to the city that are also very tall. I mean, it's just so obvious right here. There's really not much more to be said. The curvature of Earth can be captured anywhere in the world. And Ranty Rantran's been doing a very good job of capturing it, so we should thank him. These pictures are obviously higher resolution. They look better, actually. They're a lot clearer. Pretty cool. And of course, you know, somebody that lived here could go out here all the time, and you would be able to get, eventually you'd be able to get, you know, conditions where there isn't this haze at all. And there isn't this turbulence in the air at all. You would just get a very clear and crisp, sharp picture. And if, you know, if the water and the air temperature were about the same, that's what you get. I think what's going on here is you have warmer water next to cold air, and you're getting some crazy turbulence going. There was also, like I said, a massive storm, and it was super windy today. Like, it had to be like 40 miles an hour. It was very, very windy. That looks like a really good one. Let's see what this picture looks like. Yeah, it seems a little bit better, actually. A little sharper. Yeah, and you can see the inferior or superior mirage right here. Inferior mirage. Yeah, inferior mirage. I keep saying superior mirage, don't I? It's inferior mirage. I need to figure out what this is right here. It's interesting. Like 3 red and white metal cranes. I don't know. It looks like a crane or something. I'm not sure what that is. Very tall. This might be something in the foreground. Interesting. I have to go look that up. Okay, well, I just wanted to share with you guys this footage, these videos. Pretty much all the rest of it's almost exactly the same. I saw this weird thing out there. I didn't know what that was. Couldn't tell if that was maybe a house on the opposite shore or what. It was in a weird location. It's like nothing around it, and it looks like almost like a house. Couldn't tell what it was. Look at those cranes, man. It's insane. So a lot of cool stuff anyway. A lot of cool observations for anybody that wants to go try it out themselves. And I did start, I flipped over my P900. Like I said, I flipped over my P900 into RAW mode. Creates these NWRs, or NRWs, sorry, which are the raw Nikon images. And I hadn't played around with the RAWs too much yet, but I figured I might as well, take advantage of that RAW format. See if I can't pull a little contrast out of it. Anyway, very cool. All right, with that said, just a little bit of housekeeping. I wanted to, if you're still here at the end of the video, I wanted to ask a favor from everybody. We have this upcoming observation coming in January. It seems like it should have a name. We played around with Globe Earth Tourism 2019. That seems a little wordy or whatever, but it kind of hits the nail on the head. But so this is what I'm doing. I'm asking for suggestions for a good name with a good acronym. 2019, something that we can use in the future for these types of get-togethers. This is really the first get-together where we're going to have a bunch of people there. Other than the eclipse, we had a bunch of people there for that one. So getting a bunch of people together on the, pro science side for a meetup, pro science flat earth debunker crowd, or just general skeptic crowd. Just give me an idea. Give me an idea, because I don't know at the moment. I've played around with different acronyms, and I'm not real sure. Let's see what else. Okay, so I have some notes right here. Yes, I was supposed to mention the live stream. Definitely going to need like a Wi-Fi from that location if we're going to try and live stream from there. Yep, did that. Yep. Okay, there was one more thing. Okay, so I saw a comment come in. It's actually two more things. One is I saw a comment come in from Jose on this proof of concept video right here, where he said, where is it? There he is. Are you really claiming curvature in this one? You can clearly see the mirroring and mirage going on. I find this really fascinating. Like, a couple gurus go out there and say, well, there's obviously mirroring and mirage. Well, so what? That doesn't mean the top of the building isn't in the wrong place. There's obvious curvature going on there. It matches, and that's another thing. You want to take a single observation in isolation, or do you want to look at the hundreds of observations I've made? And what about the times that I've been there and I've had rock hard, crisp horizons, where it shows the same thing? I mean, those rock hard, crisp horizons that show the same exact thing that this does should give you a very clear indication that the mirroring mirage really is kind of insignificant when it comes to the curvature. I mean, these match up with the rock hard horizons. So why is that? Because the mirroring mirage has nothing to do with it whatsoever. This is obviously the curvature of the Earth, Jose. And the only reason you think that mirroring mirage has any significance whatsoever to do with magically making things look like a globe that are actually on a flat plane is because Nathan Oakley told you that, and you believe him. That's what flat earthers do. Somebody like Nathan Oakley or somebody like Jeranism tells you this. It's not even a coherent idea, but it's good enough for you to feel good about it, so you just believe it. That's not critical thinking. It's not skepticism. You're just doing exactly what you claim all of us do, which is you're just believing somebody that told you something. And that's really not the best route to go about it. So I suggest you think about that a little bit more critically. And the one other thing I wanted to bring up is I think it was Cordis. Cordis, a lot of people will know who I'm talking about. He's just one of the guys out there in our little forum. Well, Cordis linked me to this document, which I thought was really cool. It's basically this presentation about the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway and the history of it. And I was just looking through here. They have a bunch of cool old pictures, just the history about what, why they decided to do it, where they decided to do it, just a bunch of stuff. Cool stuff like this. Pre-stressed concrete. This is where they first started using pre-stressed concrete for bridges. I believe that the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway was the first one to do it. But anyway, this is a big, long document. I can kind of point you guys to it if you want it. But I saw this. Well, first of all, this one. I've taken this picture, but I've zoomed in where you can see the curvature underneath it. This is before the lane was actually added to the pylons. They built the pylons first, and they put the lane on top of it. And here's that picture here. But I wanted to show you this picture. And I don't think this is coincidence. Now, look at this article right here. Look at the shape of this cartoon drawing, of the causeway. Do you think they did that because that's what they saw with their eyes? Because I would say yes. Because I do see that with my eyes. And you can too. So come on out whenever we're doing our observations. January 4th, 5th, and 6th, we'll be out there. Probably on the 6th, we'll be enjoying, New Orleans. But on the 4th and 5th of January, we will definitely be out there. Come out, bring your camera gear, and meet up with us out there, out and about. We'll be updating people on social media. We're going to try and do as many live streams as possible this time. We are going to be near New Orleans, so hopefully we'll be able to get some live streams there that are, of reasonable quality out in the field. But even when we're not in the field, I'm going to be live streaming from the hotel room. I'm definitely planning on doing a long live stream where I just set up the P1000, zoom in, and let it run, for however long, maybe a few hours. I don't know. It'll just depend on how our day goes, but we're definitely going to be doing these type of things, and we definitely invite anyone that wants to come out there to come out there. We would prefer that flat earthers would come out there, and verify our observations. But if not, then we'll just have a bunch of globe guys out there doing all the observations. As long as there's more than one of us out there and we all publish on different channels, I mean, at that point, they just have to deny reality, and they can't call anything fake anymore because it would be completely ridiculous, especially if flat earthers show up like Jose Gonzalez, which I surely hope he does. He says he's coming, so I'm going to look forward to that. All right, that's pretty much it. Let me see if anybody in the chat has anything else to say or has any questions. Let me go back in time here. Wait, I haven't. This is too far. I am Rick. Yeah, okay, so I have a lot to catch up on here. So let me try and go back. All right, that's where I was. MF had mentioned that I should have 100K subscribers. Totally agree with him. Let's do it. Nathan, Grant, I see you out there. Nice to see you around, man. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. 2K map challenge from Flat Out Hero. I think Soundly got like 50K subs. What? I didn't get 50K subs. I wish I did. That'd be great. Anybody else talking to me? Let me see. Let me just speed up here. I am Rick. Don't read this either. What? I must have missed something from I am Rick. All right. Terry Davis says no matter how much tech, I'm guessing he means we have. These. Oh, I'm having a hard time reading this. Oh, he's basically saying that only curved surfaces can give us these observations. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Good kite weather. I am Rick. That's hilarious that you should say that. I actually have a video where a guy was kite surfing. It's in my collection that I was just looking at. See you later, Jesse. Hi, Twitwit. Marvel Girl, how's it going? Am I doing much with IR? I will have a P900 with near infrared. I took out the filter, so I will have that there. Doesn't really show you anything other than what you would normally see anyway. I did it, but mostly because of the, the flat earthers were doing it, and I figured, oh well, might as well go ahead and do it since I have two cameras now. But I mean, really not much difference, to be honest. Pretty much the same. I am Rick. Globapalooza. That's a good one. Kind of like that one. Mike the Globetard says he'll get bumper stickers made up. Call it the Eclipse Part 2. No. It's got to be something more about what we're doing. Thanks, Bob Sr. Somehow I just skipped a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what just happened. I will not do that, Bob Sr. Sorry. Oh, that was one more thing I wanted to say. Jesse actually took GPS readings as he drove across the bridge. Now, we can all look at the photographs, and the flat earthers can invent a whole bunch of perspective, flurspective, magnification. It has to be flurfraction. They can invent a bunch of imaginary phenomena that in their head makes sense as to how it shows curvature on a flat plane that somehow magically matches the globe exactly in all weather conditions, all the time, year-round, in the day, during the night, which I have observations showing that the curve is there in all those different types of conditions. So there's got to be some magic phenomena that we're completely unaware of that somehow magically shows curvature. I mean, think about that for a second. It's dumb on the surface of things. And yet, they can somehow rationalize this in their mind, whenever it comes to cameras. Now, when it comes to GPS, which they readily admit does work, they might want to say that it's based on some other technology to try and, wish away satellites, which is stupid. But, okay, they agree the GPS does work. We all know that GPS does work because in practical everyday situations, we use it for navigation, to drive, tractors automatically. I mean, it's used everywhere. So we know GPS works. So whenever you take GPS coordinates as you drive along the bridge, which is what Jesse did last year and will be doing again this year at higher resolution, well, then that's bringing in a whole nother sense. That's the sense of touch, essentially. I mean, you're actually going there and touching the bridge at that spot. That's essentially the way you can think about it. And when you take those coordinates, which are, by the way, X, Y, and Z coordinates, Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinates, they're not lat, longe, and elevation. That gets derived from these coordinates, the Earth-centered, Earth-fixed coordinates. So once you have these coordinates, you can plot those coordinates in a 3D space, just like you would on a graphing calculator. You plot these in a 3D space, and what do you see? You see a curve. So we've gone out and directly measured the curvature. Game over, right? I mean, you would think it's game over. Most people would agree that it should be game over a long time ago, but this really is game over. I think that particular observation of Jesse's is even better than my observations. Yes, my observations have visual appeal. They're visually striking. Of course, they are the curvature of the Earth. But Jesse's are just undeniable. I mean, you have actual coordinates from where you are. You plot them, and it shows a curve. Undeniable. There it is. We have directly measured the curve with GPS. End of the game. But I'm sure we'll be here for another few years combating flurfers that don't understand that the game is already over. Yes, it is a game over. They're just playing pretend. Yes, I totally agree with you. They are playing pretend. It's partially pretend. It's partially delusion. It's, it just depends. It's partially con. It depends on which flat earther you're talking about. Some of the flat earth gurus, of course, are lying. They know that the earth is a globe and they're lying. Some of the gurus wish so badly for it to be, flat that they deny their own observations, like Jeranism and Bob from Globebusters denying their own observations. That they actually that they actually say at the very beginning, if we see this, then it's a globe. If we see this, then it's flat. And then they actually present the evidence that they said would indeed indicate that it's a globe. And then they still don't get it, or they still wish it away, or I'm not exactly sure, but I would have previously classified Jeranism and Bob from Globebusters as con men. Now I think they're delusional because of that new movie, the Behind the Curve. The Behind the Curve movie really made me think they just got to be delusional. That's all I can think. It's the only thing that makes sense, because they actually had this candid, like, behind the scenes footage where even Bob didn't even know he's being filmed, and he was talking about it like he actually believed it, and there had to be some other alternative explanation, which of course later we know, the people in this arena know that he claimed it was the ether that was causing that rotation, because the time frame for that video was 2017, right? Even though it just came out. And after that observation he made with the ring laser gyro, he actually went on Globebusters and said, yeah, we actually detected this rotation, but we know the Earth is flat and still, so it must be the ether, is essentially where he went with it. Which, what? Crazy. So, yeah. So, basically, I put them in 3 different categories. One is con men, obvious con men. I think Mark Sargent falls in that category. There's delusional self-con men, people that are conning themselves, which is like the Jeranism and the Bobs. And then there are just delusional people like Ranty Rant. I mean, you got Ranty Rant going around filming Earth curvature left and right. Every single video he comes out with lately has been Earth curvature evidence, matches the globe model, and he still presents it. And Nathan and your boy Anthony there still claim that it's flat Earth evidence. It's like, that's delusion. That is delusion. I mean, that's all there is to it. So, anyway, my 2 cents. Okay, one more bit of housekeeping. Tomorrow at 4 Central, so 5 o'clock Eastern, I will be having a one-on-one with Cyman Dan. Just an informal interview, chit-chat, hang out tomorrow. So please be there for that. And I'm going to ask him some hard questions. Not really. No, I'm not. I actually got to think about what questions I'm going to ask him. So if you have any ideas for what questions to ask Cyman Dan, I have some already, but if you have any more, let me know. I'm going to try and cap it at about an hour so it doesn't get too long, and I'll try and ask questions that whatever people want to know about the most. I'll try and fit those in. So let me know in the comments of this video. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. And you might have noticed I'm on air. I'm on air. Yeah, I'm probably going to be doing this more often. I'll probably be just on air, commenting, showing my face. My face is already out there. I'm not sure how many of you know, but I was doxxed about a week ago, and so pretty much, if you want to know who I am, you can. It's out there. Everybody knows who I am now, so might as well show my face now. No reason to hide it anymore. So thanks, guys, for coming. Thanks for stopping by, and we will be presenting more globe evidence every day coming your way. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.